Episode number 236. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We have two books written by Alex Segura, Star Wars #1, and Green Hornet and Miss Fury. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I'm your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, I'm working on a film right now, which is why I kind of gone dark a little bit. I have been in pre-production and kicking my ass. I can't get ahead of it. So we start shooting on Monday, and I would love to get everything done by tomorrow morning so I can just chill for a little bit. Because it's going to be split days on top of that, which means that we do some day and some night. So it's going to be like 11 to 11 o'clock at night or some shit like that. All right, so remember, before we start, remember, give me a like, give me a subscribe if you can. Ring that bell, ding, ding. And if you can share this video out there, that would be great as well. And remember, too, that I am on Amazon, so you can check out some of the stuff that I've written. You can just type my name into Amazon, and all my stuff will come up. Or you can click in the description below. We'll have a link to it as well. I am writing a short story for Destiny Aurora right now for a publication, which is going to be lots of fun. But Destiny Aurora is my 4-novel series, as well as a board game, an RPG, and a graphic novel, which should be on Amazon as well. Also, my fantasy novel, Tales of Ravenor the Iron Witch. I have a Holocaust biography up there called Escape from Berlin. I have a horror one called The Awakening. There's just a whole bunch of stuff up there. I'm writing a new book right now. And I'm also going to be releasing a new comic on Kickstarter. I'm starting to build that up called Fairy Tales of Terror. It's going to be awesome. All right, so let's jump into Star Wars here. So 2 books by Alex Segura. I can tell you right now that the only book that out of all these that I really like is Dick Tracy that he writes. So he's writing 3 books right now. But the Green Hornet one underneath here, this is there's only one more issue left and it's over. So I have stopped collecting pretty much all of Star Wars. When they raised the price to $4.99, I'm collecting 4 Star Wars comics, and they're all $5. Screw you. They jacked up $1 each. So I dropped everything down to Bounty Hunters, which is the only thing I was really liking at the time because I like Valance. And because I remember his first appearance. I own his first appearance. The comic's a little beat up because I've read it so many fucking times when I was a kid. And now, as soon as I kept that one only, and that one stopped. And that one, that one got canceled. And so did Dr. Aphra. Dr. Aphra, by the end, got almost unreadable by Alyssa Wong. I don't know what she did with that book. She destroyed it. But yeah, and then the regular Star Wars book took place between Star Wars and Empire. Empire and Jedi. So they just left Han and Carbonite for years, according to New Disney. And when you mess with canon that much, I have to just walk away. I don't like when things mess with canon. So now, after all these times, I think it's been 5 years, they've been working on stories between Empire and Jedi. At least here, it's after Jedi now, which is what the start of this is. And they can't really mess with canon as much because the movie's, just ended. So there's plenty of books. And this is anytime you're doing that. I know there's no Vader and stuff like that in here, but you can't just mess with canon and leave Han and Carbonite for like 5 years. We were busy, man. We're busy. Bad. Just bad. So I know a lot of people are, ranking on this thing where it's not good and whatever else. I didn't think... I do agree with some of the critiques on it, but I didn't think it was as bad as everybody else said it was. So we start out with Luke and Rin or whatever else. It does get silly at times, just FYI. So it starts with them, kind of hunting this pirate or this group of pirates. and it's because obviously they're starting a new republic, all this stuff, and they're chasing, so they're chasing this pirate, and then they're like, "Oh, where did the Star Destroyer come from? You didn't see it? your computers didn't pick it up. The thing is like, the size of a city, and your stuff didn't pick anything up. Come on, man, come on." They're like, "Oh, now if it had just come out of hyperspace, well then okay, I could buy it." But that's not what happened here. And if it did, they didn't say it. So we get this little bit of battle going on here, and and the angle that they're using and the coloring just doesn't really do anything for it. But then one of their pilots goes down and gets destroyed, and the pirate that destroyed that X-wing ends up going down to the planet. It gets damaged, ends up going down to the planet. So instead of them regrouping, this chick Rin, and Luke has to follow down there so she's not alone, just decides to follow. I mean, no orders, no nothing. It's just a mess. I don't get it. So anyway, Luke gets down to the ground, and the pilot comes out, and he almost looks like one of the elves from Thor? I don't know. That's what it looks like. So anyway, I don't know how he's going to fight a lightsaber, but we have to wait because we get, and I think the face, that does look like Leia. So it switches over to, and the first time I read this, I was like, really? We're going to slow this down for a trade summit? Which takes forever, by the way. Forever. I mean, it's like 6 pages of just dialogue with this trade summit with this chick, and the girl's not having it, and Leia's like, "What are you doing? Blah blah blah. We were about to close this thing up," and she's like, "Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen." But then they get really piqued by interest because guess what? There's Valance. He's in this. Well, that's awesome. So he ends up talking to these other pirates who I guess stole a whole bunch of different stormtrooper uniforms, which I think is kind of cool. And then Han shows up, which is also pretty cool. Happy about any of that. They get into a big firefight, so I like all that. He's blasting out of his hands, and they're like, "Well, I think we should make a run for it." So they start running to the Falcon. But then they fight, Luke fights the other guy back on the ground. So we have like 3 different stories going on simultaneously, which is a little weird. And Luke pushes him back with the Force, and he questions him, but then he just blows up. Meanwhile, the chick that they were talking to with the trade says, "By the way, we're not going to do any trade with you, and you are now in our space, and we are at war." So they have one of the frigates gets attacked, and that's where it ends. So there is some stuff I like about this, and there's some stuff I don't. I think that the whole trade thing slowed the whole thing down. They could have done that in 2 pages. I'm not sure why we have to have 3 different storylines going on at once, but I'm going to give this and keep giving this a shot. I hope that it goes down in price because they raised the price to $4.99. I hope that's just for the first issue because Star Wars doesn't sell, man. So I don't see why I have to pay an extra $1 just because you can't get anything to sell. So let's jump into the other Alex Segura thing, the Green Hornet and Miss Fury. So this is the story of, I don't like the way that Britt Reed and Kato are written here. They're always at each other's throats continually. I don't understand it. He's not communicating with them. This is not written correctly as far as I'm concerned. But the guy that trained both Miss Fury and, he's a superhero, and Green Hornet is called Silver Strike. And he has now turned evil and tried to recruit them or something to that effect, but that didn't work, so now he just wants them out of the way. So we get this little fight scene between Silver Strike and somebody else and Miss Fury, she's overpowered, and she doesn't fight very well in a lot of this. I think they should have made her a little bit more formidable. But then they bring in Miss Fury's like old nemesis or whatever. Meanwhile, you have these cops that aren't really cops, and Kato and Green Hornet decide to fight each other to distract them. I mean, I don't know why the cops don't shoot them, even though they're not cops, whatever else. But then we have this battle scene going on, and that's with them fighting each other. I don't get it. I don't understand that in the least. And you're like, oh, I can't fight my brother, or blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, he punches him hard enough to make his nose bleed. I do like that the mask came off, and it's he's got the regular mask underneath, which is really all it should be. But then again, they start shooting, and of course they miss Green Hornet and Kato completely, and they fight continuously, etc. And then Green Hornet shows up to save Miss Fury, except it's a she, so dressed up like Green Hornet. I think they can tell the difference. But whatever. And we just get this whole action scene. It's just a big action scene after action scene after action scene. And then somehow Miss Fury just shows up with them. I don't know. I thought she was with the other one. And then we get, unless they were just like, she was in the building right behind them. That's what I can think of. And we get this flashback, and then he says, we have to talk. So this has not been good, and the only reason I kept with it is because there was only 5 issues. But this is completely not written well for the characters that are in it. So they're almost unrecognizable compared to what some other things that have been written. So let's do a recap. Green Hornet, Miss Fury. No, this is not good. I was really disappointed with this. But I guess Miss Fury is a property that's just open to anybody using it. Because of the age, because I know that a couple of different publishers are using it, that character. And then Star Wars, I'm going to reserve, but right now, no, this would not make a good movie or television show or anything. But we'll see. Maybe it'll get better. I don't know. Because, again, he's writing 3 books, and Dick Tracy's my favorite. I'm not sure if I'll continue this. I'll continue for a couple more, 2, 3, maybe 4. And if it doesn't pan out, then I'll be dropping it again. And I do like Jedi Knights, though. I think Jedi Knights is a good, I think it's on the back here. Yeah. I think this is a good series. This actually, I think it's by Guggenheim. Yeah, that's the only thing I like right now. All right, well, that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I'm hoping to get to the movies tomorrow. We'll see. All right. Thanks for watching. Remember, thumbs up and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. If you'd like to check anything I've written, just go to Amazon.com. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.